All right, we should be live.
Okay. That was longer than usual.
Yeah, I was waiting to make sure that the video was popping up on Twitch, and it took a while, so I see it
Okay.
now,
Yeah.
though.
Well, I just heard the notification. So, yeah, looks like we are good to go.
We did it.
How's it
We're
going,
here.
Paul?
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm tired. I'm
Oh,
mentally
yeah.
exhausted. I'm ready to sleep in tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Start your weekend.
Start my weekend. Yeah, Easter weekend. Happy Easter, everybody.
So, you get Monday off.
I don't get any day off. I'm on call all the time in case something happens.
Oh,
So, but
that sucks.
I told them
I also don't
I'm
get
up all night.
I don't get
So
Monday off either
yeah,
because America doesn't like taking days off, really.
yeah.
Unless it's Thanksgiving, then they'll take a whole bunch of them off.
Or have like any morals in general recently. Anyway.
Sure. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it feels like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I want to do a bit of housekeeping before we started the show.
Yeah.
The RSS feed for those who are on the TDP Plus RSS feed. So if you're a patron subscriber, and thank you for tipping in to help support this show. We posted about this in the Discord, but maybe you don't check the Discord. Maybe you just kind of listen to the show each week. We
Yeah.
had to switch over the RSS feed from the old Patreon host back to Patreon. So you might need to update your app. I think it should have just gone through, but I had to change a whole bunch of stuff on my end while I was testing stuff out. So
Oh,
if you did
weird.
nothing, I would be curious to know if everything is just working, if you got the last couple episodes. If it's not working for you, just go to the Patreon and click the RSS feed and put that in whatever podcast app you're using, and you should go back to getting your ad-free episodes, any of the bonus episodes that we put out and stuff like that.
Cool. Nice.
I also wanted to mention that over on my day job at CNET, I launched a video podcast about video games. What a surprise! I'm pretty good at that.
Sure.
And the reason I wanted to shout it out is just I've seen some of Top Down Perspectives audience in the comments there, and I just wanted to say, hey, I appreciate that. Thanks for helping me continue to be employed and get paid. So I definitely appreciate all the support. And yeah, if you want to hear me talk about games for even longer than the hour and change we do on Top Down Perspective, go check out this CNET YouTube channel for Obvious Skill Issue.
It's a good title.
That's the name of that podcast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was talking to Paul about this. I wanted Skill Issue, but somebody took it for 5 episodes back during the pandemic or something. And then
What a jerk.
So it's just they're just, yeah. So
drop the name.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Yeah. Give it up. You're just sitting on it. It's not fair. It really does. I heard a statistic a while back. I think I've talked about this on the show. That's the average number of podcast episodes is 30 something. Because which you would think that's so low, but there's so many people just have the idea, hey, I'm going to start a podcast, and then a couple months in, they're like, man, this is so much work. I am so over this.
Yeah, it definitely can be, for sure.
Yeah, you got to be like a real sicko.
Yes,
to do it for as long as we have.
A podcast sicko.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but anything cool happened in your last week you want to talk about?
Last of Us started up again.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, not much to say yet.
Premiere, do you?
What's that?
Yeah, pretty kind of a sleepy premiere episode. Nothing big or exciting really in there to hook you.
Yeah. I still don't really care for Bella Ramsey in that role, and I don't know why. It's just the acting doesn't feel good for me or something. But then again, all of them, Pedro Pascal is so good that he just kind of steals the show whenever he's there.
I think the actress who plays Dina, I think she did a really
She's
good
great.
job.
She's very good. Yeah. Also, they do kind of an opening foreshadowing thing that isn't in the games in this one, and it's very where they introduce a character.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And it's obviously because they don't want people to have the visceral reaction that they did from the game.
Yeah, that was weird. So I hope that girl's socials are locked down or something.
A little worried, yeah, a little bit worried, but we'll see what happens.
I haven't seen anything, and I feel like I would have seen something at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of do a little foreshadowing of oh, something big might happen. Maybe I'll get ready for that mentally or whatever, because the video game does not prepare you for that. And I think the internet showed how much disdain they had for that moment when that happened.
Very curious, where this season's gonna go. I'm very curious where season 1 ends, because they've said that The Last of Us Part 2 will take like 3 seasons to tell.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, who knows? But I'm gonna be there watching it for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Pretty meandery season premiere though. You're right. Just kind of there.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out this month though. Andor comes back like next week.
Yep. That's exciting.
We'll finally see a continuation of, in my opinion, the best thing with Star Wars' name on it of all time.
It's definitely out of the last while for sure. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's more exciting, but it's exciting in a completely different way. The Rehearsal season 2 comes back
that is a different
holy
way.
Smokes.
Yeah.
Like that. I think of the Rehearsal season 1 as like a force of nature. It is an absolute journey that you cannot prepare for.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think he was prepared for what happened in that show.
Yup. Yeah. No.
So I don't know how you follow that up. But if anyone could do it, it's Nathan Fielder.
For sure. Yep, for sure.
I'm very excited for that as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's wait. Do I need to talk about anything? What did I see this weekend? Did I talk about Minecraft last week?
You didn't talk about it at all. Oh no, wait, yes you did.
Did I talk about it? Okay, then what did I see this last weekend? What did I go see?
I don't know.
I don't even remember.
Can you explain what a chicken jockey is? Because that shit's blowing up on the internet.
Yeah, that thing is blowing up. So obviously I didn't know about it until the thing. I guess it's a meme from the trailers. Like it's not like a meme from the game or something. It's like there are jokes in the trailers that have like exploded on TikTok to become their own memes and stuff.
Oh.
A chicken jockey is like a little guy. Like I don't play enough Minecraft to know the like unit names. But he looks like a creeper, but like more like a Frankenstein creeper. If he was like a baby.
Jockey?
Well, I don't know if he's called a jockey or because a jockey is like someone like riding something, right? So this little Frankenstein dude, he rides on a chicken, so he's the chicken jockey.
Okay.
I don't know if you detach them from each other, is he still the chicken jockey, or does he need to be on a chicken to be the chicken jockey? I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, philosophers have debated this for ages. We're not going to bring anything new to the table that hasn't. This is well-worn territory. Yeah. I also think that anyone listening to this who's like under the age of like 18, we probably sound like the oldest people alive.
I mean, I think if you know what a chicken jockey is, you're too young to be probably listening to this podcast.
I would actually be surprised if there were that many people under 18 listening to this.
Yeah,
I'm sure at some point there were people under 18, but I bet they've all kind of grown out of it. I just don't know how much Gen Z we're like bringing in.
Wait, grown out of the podcast or grown out of being under 18? I guess
maybe
both.
Both, but I was talking about growing out of being a teenager.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured you meant.
Yeah, so I would assume our Gen Z and our Gen Alpha listener base is almost 0%. That's my guess.
Yeah, I mean, we never get emails about skibbity anything, so I'm pretty sure you're
not
correct.
That we're asking for it, because I know that just to a lot of people they were like they're already halfway through writing an email, and I'm like, I'm telling you to stop. Just put that email in the trash. It's not worth it. It's not as funny as you think it's about to be.
That's true. Also, nobody that knows what skibbity anything is writing an email. They're trying to send a tweet or something.
We're not a tweet, but like a whatever the Blue Sky one is.
I'm not using skeet. I'm not using that to describe them.
Skeet to me sounds like something involving shit.
I mean, skeet is something similar. Yes.
Okay.
That is a term.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's do the podcast. This is Top Down Perspective.
Please.
April 17th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm gonna go first because I think my week was a little more exciting since we last did a show.
Yeah, arguable, but go on.
Okay, so I flew down to LA and played the Switch 2.
I slept in a few days.
Yeah,
I
so in
win.
terms of video games, I'm well
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Ask me anything about the Switch 2. I've touched it. I've taken the Joy Cons off of it. I've played Mario Kart. I played Donkey Kong.
I more than anything just want to know about, like, I know it's going to be a Switch, so I'm fine. But I need to know how the mouse stuff works and how that
It was all a lie. It can't even do it. Nintendo's been lying to us. No,
that would be
I'm obviously kidding.
hilarious. Holy shit.
I think the mouse stuff works awesome.
Okay.
So the games I played with mouse controls: Drag and Drive, Welcome Tour,
Yeah.
Mario Party, and Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
And specifically with Metroid Prime 4, you could use it as like left hand on the left Joy-Con is movement and such. I think they even put like jump on the left trigger,
Okay.
and then the mouse is your look, your shoot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, just to kind of preface this, I don't like keyboard and mouse. If that's my only option, I hate it. I'm already at a handicapped, so I'm not good. This felt like totally fine, and maybe it's more that I don't like the keyboard aspect of it. Maybe that's
Okay.
what's kind of throwing me off. And the
Okay.
mouse stuff was just fine. I at no point did I feel like annoyed that I was using a mouse control. I don't know how long I would go with that. Like these were obviously maybe 15-minute tops or whatever.
Yeah.
And I do have the option to do it with just controller, and I played a little bit of Metroid Prime with controller, but I did primarily the mouse because that was the big question.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would stick with that, but at no point was I just like, ew, this sucks, going back. Like I was fine.
Okay. That's good. Cool.
We could use it on a table. We could use it on. They had these like big mouse pads, which are basically just look like, you know, your kind of larger like desk mouse pads, right? That everyone like buys at a convention. And
Sure.
they have too many of them. On the pants, they even like specifically were like, "Hey, you should try it on your pants. It works on pants.
Did you try it on skin?
I think I may have tried it on my arm real
Okay.
briefly, and
I
I think it
mean,
was fine.
arm skin is kind of like leg skin, so that works.
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference on me. I don't know.
Maybe
But, you know,
just
that's
more
gonna be a
tanned or whatever.
personal
Yeah.
journey everyone's gonna kind of have to go on when they're
Of course.
inspecting their skin.
Yeah.
Trying to think what I do. Welcome tour. So welcome tour, that's the big question. It's $10.
Yeah.
It was a very limited demo of it, so I don't know how much there is that I did not get to play. I know
Okay.
there's definitely parts that I did not get to play, but I only got to see a couple of the mini games. I think it is more than just a manual. I think calling it a manual is reductive. These mini games are pretty fun. One of them that was probably the most interesting one is they're talking about the like screen resolution compared to the original Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
So they
Yep.
put the original Super Mario Brothers 1-1 on the screen in its exact resolution, so it's tiny.
Yep.
And then as you're running to the right, it's just opening it bigger. So you basically you get to see the entirety of 1-1 within a 4K TV.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that
Because
makes sense.
they didn't scale it up. They're like, here it is 1-1.
Yeah.
Here's 1-1, 1-1 with this screen.
Yeah.
So you basically just get to see like, oh, this thing is incredibly small. But you never really could tell that because it was scrolling. You were only seeing like a frame of it at a time, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this thing is really only like 10 frames long with like a sub go down the pipe, a subworld section, and that's about it. And then there was like mini objectives like finish the level as Fire Mario, or collect
Sure.
the hidden one up, stuff like that. So there's a little extra stuff to do. So yeah, I think it is better than just calling it a fancy manual. I
Okay.
can't speak to if it is worth $10 because I don't know how much else was there. It is set up like you're walking around on a Switch 2, but I only had access to the left Joy-Con and about half of the screen. And they said in the full thing there will be more stuff on the screen, and then you'll actually have access to the right Joy-Con as well. I don't know if you can like go down and underneath it or anything, but it is kind of like a little hub area you walk around in.
Okay. Cool.
Mario Party was a collection of mini games. They were all kind of bullshit. So that's about on par with what you would expect from a Mario Party. I did not
Yeah.
try the camera stuff.
Oh,
However, I'm someone who literally has 3 Kinects in my apartment,
yeah.
so I think I'm good. I
Sure.
think I'm
Yeah.
good on the camera video games.
You're in. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm already bought in, yeah, so I'm gonna pick up 2 copies of Mario
Yeah.
Party Jamboree TV or whatever it is, and I'm gonna buy a bunch of those cameras and set them up, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously.
What else did I say? Oh, Dragon Drive. Dragon Drive seems totally fine. It's very easy to kind of get like, oh, I know exactly what movement to do with both of these quote unquote mice to do
Yeah.
exactly what I want, and you can like
These
hit both
wheels.
triggers to like brake, like you're like grabbing the wheels. I
Yeah.
read a tweet or a Blue Sky post sometime this week where I guess in one of the like UK demos, the people were like specifically told don't call them wheelchairs.
Oh, weird.
Your
Okay.
vehicles. You're
Of
supposed to
course.
refer them as vehicles, which is bizarre to me because like it's wheelchair basketball. Like
Yep.
that's literally what it is.
Yep.
What wouldn't leaning into this fact of like, hey, we're kind of focusing on this like accessibility sport that like rarely gets the light shone, and they're just like, no, not at all. Don't even talk to us about handicapped people. These are vehicles.
Classic
People
Nintendo.
sitting in these vehicles have full function of their legs. Are you kidding? Like,
Yeah.
just weird. I don't know why they would have that, but that's
That is
Nintendo for you.
weird.
They're just kind of weird. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that game is cool. I'm curious how much it's going to cost because we haven't seen anything outside of there's a little tutorial area that's just kind of on the court, and then there's the 3-on-3 on the court.
Right.
And I don't know how much else there is. Is there some kind of campaign mode? Like,
Mm.
it's not like there's going to be like a platformer in there. Like, so I don't know. And I can't imagine that's going to be a $70 title based on what we've seen.
What about like
But
$20 or $30 and you get like a friend pass or something to like invite somebody to play?
I doubt there'll be a friend pass because they're doing that like DS download share thing. That's your
Oh,
friend
that's
pass.
right.
Make your friend come over to you and local LAN it into your whatever. I'm just curious if there's going to be modes, if there's any kind of like career mode or what kind of there is to that. Because at the moment it just kind of looks more like a tech demo, but
Yeah.
they're not referring to it as that. So I'm curious. We'll see.
At what price point are you starting to be like, this is gross? You shouldn't pay for
For
this.
Dragon Drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's literally just what I played, $10 tops. But
Yeah. Okay.
again, if it is just what I played, then I would refer to that as a tech demo.
Okay.
So I can't imagine it's just a tech demo. That seems odd to me. They're like in the chat they're saying I think it's $50. I didn't know pricing was out for that, but okay, $50. So there's got to be more into that game. Hopefully there's some kind of like rise through the ranks, blah 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 or something. Some kind of career mode or whatever.
Yeah.
They started us off. The first thing you got to do with the Nintendo experience was go hands on with the device. It's pretty big. The screen is technically bigger than a Steam Deck OLED by like a 0.5 inches or something in diameter. So it's a big screen. The screen looks nice. It's not OLED right now, it's LCD. However, I was in a dimly lit showroom where the screens will look nice because they're nice and bright in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we put this in the sun is when the OLED really shines.
Yeah.
So we'll have to kind of see how that goes. I have not been able to take a Switch 2 outside. Actually, in the chat, they're just guessing that it's $50. So maybe that's not the right thing.
Fair enough.
Right. What did we do? So we got to go hands on with the Switch. You got to take the Joy-Cons off. That was snappy and cool. Like it just kind of slots in and out. There's no like clink or click or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they take us. Then you play Mario Kart World first. You do a couple like one-on-one kind of Grand Prix races.
Yep.
With just someone in line. They just kind of pair you up with people.
Mm-hmm.
I did pretty good with that. Then they bring us all into the Knockout Tour, which is the 24-player multiplayer where it's race after race and like the bottom like 4 or 5 get eliminated each time.
The Battle Royale mode, basically, yeah.
Kind of the Battle Royale. That mode's awesome. I had tons of fun because as you can see like how long the racetrack is. So as everyone's getting into that like last 10% of it, they're like holding on to their big items for that moment. And at that point, it's just like chaos and you're just kind of hoping you make it.
That's awesome. That's so good.
So It's going to be a lot of fun, that one. I did not do very good. I made it about 2 or 3 races in before I hit the bottom rung and got eliminated from that one. But it gets pretty exciting when you get to those few minutes and you keep kind of going.
Cool.
And then from there, they bring us into the big open room and you got to kind of go around. So the first thing I did was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Of course.
That game is awesome. I'm very excited for it. It's not open world, but it reminded me a lot of Odyssey, in
Right.
which there's kind of these big sandboxes, and it's like, hey, there's like 20 things you can do in there. Just go like find them, and
Cool.
that's basically
Okay.
how it is. There's kind of exits to the stage, and then there's like hidden, whatever the moon equivalent is, but it's like a gold banana or something
Yeah,
like that.
bananas of some sort, surely.
Yeah, but you just kind of go around and fight random enemies, dig a bunch. I kept forgetting about like the digging mechanic, and you can kind of smash almost anything. You can kind of break. And
That's great.
the guy who was kind of running the demo or kind of overseeing my demo, to keep reminding me, he's like, "Oh, hey, you should try like digging down right now." Because I just kind of forgot I was just like climbing walls and running around, and so I started digging down, and there's like a whole underground area that was just there.
That's
And
great.
stuff like that. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's going to be these big sandboxes with lots of different ways. And when I finished area once, I kind of got to like an ending exit point, and he's like, okay, so it's going to put you back at the beginning of this one. There's actually 2 other exit points you should try and find. And you can open up a map, and there's this big kind of 3D diorama map that you can like rotate around and look underneath and zoom into stuff to try and find, okay, where should I go next and stuff like that.
Cool.
Looks really good. I'm really excited for that game.
Yeah, it
What
looks
else
good.
did I play? I think that was all the big stuff. The as part of the experience, if you played 6 games, it would like mark off your like your little like lanyard badge thing,
Okay.
and then when you leave, they would give you some quote unquote exclusive merch.
Okay.
Which I can actually grab it. It's right behind me. One sec.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
It was this Nintendo Switch 2 backpack.
Okay.
Pull it out.
Sure.
Which was actually good because I did not bring a backpack down to this event, but I had too much stuff in my little bag, in my drawstring bag. So going home was a lot more comfortable. But yeah, it was a pretty cool backpack. I quite enjoyed this. Oh, and there was like a Switch 2 sticker. Then on the back it said, not for resale. So I'm not allowed to sell it.
Shame.
Yeah, that was the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. It was pretty cool. I did a bunch of coverage for CNET, including, this part was kind of funny, including I did some like audience reaction stuff. Like I was asked, because I went into the public event. I won the little golden ticket thing.
Yeah.
So we got some people leaving it. We got some people going in. And we were just asking them like, hey, what did you enjoy in there? What are you most excited for if you hadn't gone in yet? A lot of the people did not want to go on camera. Fair enough. That's fine.
Sure.
There was this one person that, a lot of the people were like, oh, I'm excited to play Mario Kart. I'm excited for the 4K. This one lady was like, oh, I'm excited to play Dusk Bloods. And then I had to break her heart. I was like, oh, it's not here.
Yeah. Damn it.
So we got that on camera. That ended up in the video. That was pretty funny.
Great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Other games that they had there that Hades 2, I didn't need to play that. I played plenty of Hades 2.
Of course.
Both the Zeldas were there. I played just a little bit of Breath of the Wild just to kind of see it running in 120 on the handheld mode.
Yeah.
What else? Kirby. I played a little bit of the new Kirby area. That seems just like more of that. Didn't really seem that special. And then they had a mature rated section kind of around the corner. It was hidden a little bit, and then over there they had Cyberpunk and Yakuza 0.
You had to just like curtains or whatever. You had to walk in the pervert curtains.
Not necessarily curtains, but yeah. Kinda, like I didn't even notice it till the very end when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do another lap, and I was like, wait, is this the exit? What is over here? And then they had like a sign like mature games past this point, because obviously it's a public thing. There might be kids.
Of course, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, but so I didn't play those. I didn't need to play those games, but yeah, those were also there.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so that was the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna get that thing day 1, hopefully day like -10.
I mean, whenever pre-orders actually happen, would be sick.
Yeah, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about in a bit for sure. Absolutely.
Yep.
And then the game, when I came back, because I was Friday, and then up to that point, I've been playing this other game that I cannot talk about yet.
Still? Oh, that's stupid.
Still, no, it's not stupid. That means I got the game quite early, and for a game like this, you want it quite early, right? The earlier you can get the games, the better.
I guess there's other
I will be able
games
to talk about it
you
the
could play.
day of. We'll be able to talk about it the day of the next podcast, and I'm very excited.
Okay,
about that.
So next week, cool.
Yep. But Paul, talk to me about what you've been playing.
I finished South of Midnight. I don't remember where I said
Okay.
I said I was about halfway, and I think I was.
You were about to do all the Hug and Molly stuff, and I remember saying to you, "Oh, I think you're really gonna like the next section." I quite enjoyed that whole chunk.
Yes, the Hug and Molly stuff. So when I said I was about halfway, I think I was about right in that. That last half, some of those chapters are very long. There's a lot to those chapters.
I'm right after Hug and Molly ends, and that's where I had to stop and shift over.
Okay.
So, like, how many hours do you think I got?
How many hours in are you right now?
I don't remember.
How many hours from the end of Hug and Molly?
I'm around I was like starting chapter 10-ish, I think.
Maybe 3.
Okay, all right.
2 or 3, depending how much.
Was I right? Did you quite enjoy the Hug and Molly section?
The Hug and Molly section is pretty good.
Cool.
I mean, like, again, it's just kind of what I said before. The story stuff, the ambience, like all of that stuff is top notch. I love that stuff. I was pretty sick of the actual gameplay part by the time the credits rolled, so I'm glad that it wasn't any longer because I was done fighting shit. I was sick of it.
All right.
Yeah. That game's cool. That's some, like, the things I would want to talk about would be a spoiler cast sort of thing. Doug and Molly stuff is good. Like, a lot of this stuff is a little trite in how it presents itself. Like, if you've seen things that have, like, tragedy in them, you probably know where it's going to go with a lot of stuff. So, like, it is what it is, but the way they get there is very cool and very stylish. I generally enjoy all those characters a decent amount. I thought the ending was surprisingly thoughtful in how they do the very, very end thing. I don't love that they do the very end thing and then it literally just cuts to credits. It's like, oh, that was abrupt. Holy shit. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll see what you mean.
Cool game. It still does that thing of like, the music is great. And then somebody's saying just like some dumbass lyrics on top of it, but it's also kind of charming as well at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cool game. People should try that out, especially because it's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, spend the 10 hours or whatever it is. That's pretty much like the big thing, I guess, I played this week or finished this week.
Okay. Let's do some news. And we talked about it a minute ago, but let's talk about what's going on with pre-orders because they're all over the place. I think the last time we had spoken about Switch 2 pre-orders, they had already been delayed in Canada because of America.
Yes.
Now we're starting to get some rumors. These all come from Bill Kuhn, who looks at a lot of back ends of websites.
Sure.
Maybe not necessarily a leaker, but they're pretty accurate a lot of the time. But they get a lot of this information out there. There was kind of 2 points I wanted to bring up. The first one was that we got a possible pre-order date for Canada of April 23rd, which would be this coming Wednesday.
Yep.
So the question is, I wonder if America will, follow suit. It'll be the 23rd. Who knows? And, just to preface all this, Nintendo has not confirmed or said anything about pre-orders in North America. And then everyone in Europe is already pre-ordering it and laughing at us, as they should.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I don't have just for you and me, I don't have the link to the other one. But the other one was that Bill Kuhn continued to find a couple dates specific to America. The confusing part is that they found 2 dates. The first date is April 21st, and the second date was April 30th.
Oh,
so that would put it Monday or 2 Wednesdays from now. And they were saying some retailers are even saying that some of them will go on the 21st and others will go on the 30th. That makes no sense. All the retailers are going to go at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would come across that information. And then there was also some confusion about whether those 2 dates were splitting up and it was going to be the console on the 21st and then accessories on the 30th, such as the Pro Controller.
Oh, okay.
which also
Interesting.
seems odd to me. But I guess they could. There's no reason they couldn't do that. But I don't know why you would do that either.
Yeah. Weird. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean,
again, these are just coming from like back ends of like random retailer stuff. In fact, like for this first Blue Sky post right here, I'll just kind of read the whole thing. Upcoming release, from what I can see through some Canadian retailers, Nintendo Switch 2 console and bundle pre-order should start April 23rd. Date subject to change. Can't confirm it's the same for the US. Blah blah blah. So
yeah.
take this all with a grain of salt, but maybe next week is the time. I would assume we would get a bit more of a heads up than just kind of like dropping it like, yo, it's in tomorrow. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice.
And then, you got to consider like with obviously it's tariffs that are doing all this.
Of course.
Even
Yep.
those seem to be changing every day about when they're starting, what they apply to. There's this 90-day grace period, which is past when the Switch is out. So is Nintendo good? Like, does anyone know what's going on? I
Nope.
don't.
Nope. Nobody.
I'm just a guy reading Blue Sky every day.
Every day. Yep.
Every day. Yep. Okay, next news story here, because this is tangentially related. Sony, once again, is raising the price of the PS5.
Right.
I'll just read the quote. The quote here. This is over on the PlayStation blog. With a backdrop of a challenging economic environment, which you can assume what they're referring to, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates,
There it is. Yep.
SIE has made the tough decision to raise the recommended retail price, or RRP, of the PlayStation 5 console in select markets in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. So again, they're not touching North America, which they didn't do last time either. Last time, I believe it was some places in Asia. I know Japan definitely got hit.
Yeah.
This seems to be, they kind of the post here is primarily looking at like Europe and Australia and New Zealand. But I'll just give the Euros example, and you can kind of extrapolate from there. The version, so these are all for the Slim model, not the PS5 Pro.
Right.
The Slim model without a disk drive is going up 50 euros. The Slim model with a disk drive is not changing in price. And then the confusing part is that the standalone disk drive is going down 40 euros.
Oh. What? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe not enough of those were selling, but they still have to make it more expensive than buying the bundle. Otherwise, everyone would just buy the two things and put them together, right? So
Yeah.
either way, I think the interesting part here, the conversation starter here, is this is the very first generation where I have not, like, typically game consoles get cheaper as they get older.
Yeah. True.
Every few years we get like a new refreshed version of it. Maybe it has an extra feature or two. Maybe it's got bigger storage, but it's cheaper because they're able to mass market these. Parts have gotten less expensive than when the console launched. This is the second time now that Sony has increased their price.
Yeah. No good, especially with the next thing coming up here too.
Right. Yes. I was seeing like some jokes kind of going around where people are like, man, when the PS6 comes out, I'm going to be able to sell my PS5 basically for the price I got it at launch.
True.
Or maybe even
Yeah.
make a profit.
Yeah.
So definitely weird. Okay. And then, yes, this next post is that PlayStation Plus.
You posted the same thing twice by accident.
Posted the same thing twice. Okay, let me find the actual link.
I just noticed it now.
PlayStation Plus in Canada is getting a price increase.
It is. In related news, I will be dropping PlayStation Plus.
Why did that not copy when I told you to copy? Oh, are you a PlayStation Plus subscriber?
Oh, I'm a premium, yeah.
Premium, so that's the top tier?
The top tier, yep.
Right.
But I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah, unfortunately this post doesn't mention kind of what the price was and what it's going to, but the new 12-month plans for Essentials is going to be 110 Canadian. Extra will be 190. Extra is the first tier where you get access to their backlog. Not their backlog, their library.
Yeah.
And then Premium is going to be 225. It gets you like streaming, I believe. I don't remember what else it gets you.
The classics catalog is what I cared about, but as
Okay.
as I told somebody, I could just pirate or emulate if they're gonna charge me that much at this point, and I don't even play them, so like, what does it matter?
Getting pretty expensive. No word on if they're doing this in America. But again, America's kind of like the big battleground, so you have to be like careful when you're raising the prices there.
Premium is going from 190 Canadian to 225.
Okay.
That's the
So
price.
a $35 increase.
35
Canadian dollars again.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty wild. I'm not a PlayStation Plus subscriber. But that's, I primarily play on my Xbox, so, and I am a Game Pass subscriber, so I'm kind of doing the equivalent over there anyways.
Sure. Yep.
But there you go. Things getting more expensive.
Yep.
Yep.
No good.
All right. In some more upbeat news, Ubisoft announced and released open source a new colorblind simulation tool called Chroma. This is available for public use for other game developers. It essentially kind of puts a filter on a gameplay screen, and
Okay.
then you can kind of adjust it for different versions of color blindness to see what your game would look like and kind of what information are various players going to lose out on. And I just
Cool.
thought this was a pretty cool move from Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
I can't speak to like how accurate or helpful this would be, but I'd have to assume it's got to be better than nothing.
Yeah.
I also don't have the background knowledge to know like what people were doing before this. Because this seems kind of like the no-brainer, like, is this not what everyone was doing? They were putting a filter on top of the gameplay and looking at it. But again, I don't know. I don't know how game dev works for color blindness.
Yeah. Like maybe this is great for indie devs or something, but at the same time, like you said, reshade has existed for like decades, and it's literally just putting a filter and changing values of that filter over the gameplay. So I don't know.
At the very least, this is not hurting anyone, so
Right.
it's a cool move for Ubisoft, and I wanted to shout that out. I think
For sure.
that's kind of the takeaway for there. So good on Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then these last two news stories are some kind of game announcements and reveals. EA announced their next Star Wars game, Zero Company. This is coming from Respawn, and it is a turn-based tactics game. They even call out, why am I blanking on the name?
XCOM.
XCOM.
Yeah.
In the description.
Yeah. I think this
was leaked a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some pictures of this did leak. The official reveal is going to be this weekend during Star Wars Celebration, which I believe is like kicking off right now. I saw news about some Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie.
Okay.
I think that's going on in Japan, actually, or somewhere at least in East Asia.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So this weekend they're going to be detailing that.
Yeah.
So look forward to that. But honestly, it's Respawn, so I'm pretty interested. Good for them.
Yeah. Could be
they're
awesome.
already doing their last two Star Wars games were awesome. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yep. Agreed.
And then last weekend, Marathon, we got the first gameplay reveal as previews went out.
Yes, I watched it.
Okay, yeah. What did you think? I want to hear your opinion.
I'm pretty disappointed, all things considered.
Wow.
I just don't think it looks particularly good. The HUD stuff, like, listen, Bungie makes some good UIs. That UI stuff is okay. But, like, I don't know, the gameplay looked lackluster. I heard they're going to charge like $40 or $50 for it when it looks like it probably should be a free-to-play thing. I just don't want to do an extraction shooter again. They're getting into like a market that's already kind of been covered. And from what I can tell, the only thing that they're offering is the fact that Bungie make good shooters. And I'm wondering if that's enough for something that's $50 that you could play Tarkov. Or like these other ones that people have been playing. I don't know. Either way, it's just not for me.
I think I'm on the other side. I got pretty excited about this. I was getting a lot of Apex vibes from this. I know it's not a battle royale, but just in terms of like you can revive your teammates. They had a lot of abilities that are similar to Apex, such as like going invisible or the dash mechanic and stuff like that. So
Apex is fun looking
intrigued
when you watch it though. Like it's fast moving, it's snappy, and this looked kind of boring, like just a slow shooter.
I guess I'd have to like feel it, and then like
Yeah,
you did mention it's Bungie making it, so you kind of know the shooting's gonna feel good.
the shooting's going to be good. That's going to be the
Yeah.
thing you probably want to play it for, is the shooting.
It said it's gonna have a battle pass. It's launching with 3 maps with a 4th map shortly after launch. But you did also mention the price, and that was kind of the big question coming out of the previews that nobody could really answer.
Yeah,
And the quote Bungie gave is, "Marathon is going to launch as a premium product. Um, it will not be a full price title."
right.
So the speculation begins. Let's try and think what this is going to be. Let's keep in mind things like Concord launched at $40 and
Sure.
died like 12 days later.
I thought
Helldivers,
the game director
another game
actually
published by,
tweeted how much it's going to be, and it is $40. Hold
I don't
on.
think they
Let me
did.
see if I can confirm
Okay.
before I tell you.
Maybe they did later in the week and I missed it, but this would be news to me.
Yeah, let me see if I know I saw something, but I don't know necessarily if that was like a Bungie person or just some like pundit or whatever.
Someone just speculating.
Yeah.
Just to finish my thought while you're looking
Yeah.
that up.
Mm-hmm.
Helldivers 2, another Sony kind of published game, launched for $40 and did incredible. So I would love to be a fly on the wall for them figuring out what they should charge for Marathon, because again, I am kind of with you. A lot of these games typically you would think have to launch free to play. That's just what society is like these days.
Yep.
But they seem to be taking kind of a Nintendo approach of, no, our game is worth something. You need to pay to get into this.
Yeah.
Any luck finding it? Maybe that's your answer.
According to Forbes and the game post, Helldivers $40 price point, blah blah blah. This thing on GameSpot.com is a news thing that says Bungie's Marathon will be $40 report. And then the tagline after that is Concord's failure didn't seem to budge Sony, which is kind of funny.
So they did have a price already. Okay.
But I'm trying to find like where they got that information from too, because I still don't see the originating post. So I don't know. But if GameSpot is posting it, I figure they probably have somebody that said something at some point.
Well, and they were there at the preview, so.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Because other people are saying that it's rumored to be $40, so at this point,
so I'm looking at
this
article on GameSpot, and it's saying it has been rumored that Marathon will cost $40.
Okay.
I'm going into that article right now. Oh yeah, according to Forbes and the Game Post.
Oh, the Game Post. Yeah, I just clicked on that one too. Multiple sources tell the Game Post Bungie's considering a 40 to... Okay, considering doesn't mean that they announced it is, so take that for what it's worth.
It seems like a lot of speculation.
A lot of speculation, yeah.
And I'm looking at I just read the Game Source one, yeah, or the Game Post one.
Yeah, a little confusing, but regardless.
Weird. I'm very curious. It's launching September 23rd. I believe that there's an alpha coming shortly. But let's speculate. Let's make our guess. Are you going with 40? Is that your guess?
Yeah, I'll probably go with 40.
Okay, just to do something different, I'm gonna do 30. I'm gonna say they're gonna take it seriously. What happened to Concord, and they're gonna do 30.
Okay. I could see them doing that, cutting the price. Honestly, I could see them seeing like people backlashing at the $40 and being like, you know what, it is free to play. I could see them do that.
It could also be a thing where, like, a few months down the road, they make it free to play because they have to, similar to
what
was that soap game, Foam Stars?
Foam Stars. Yep.
Yeah, and then that didn't save it anyway.
Yep.
I would maybe that's not a good way of doing it. Is make them pay first, then switch to free to play. Because I can't think of any game where that's like succeeded at this point. It seems like a last ditch effort to get a bit more money, but the result is still you're shutting down your game. You just moved the goalpost, 6 weeks further out.
Yeah, and it just looks kind of gross too. It's a good way to lose some reputation.
Well, you'd have to think Sony's getting tired of like not doing well in the live service space.
Of losing. Not you can say
they keep doing it. We keep hearing reports of them canceling stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
All right. That's it for news. Let's do some questions. Topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And we'll start off with this kind of quiz that was written in, and I have it over on the Discord.
Oh, okay.
So that it's still hidden for us. This
I
comes
haven't
from
seen this at all.
Good. So this is what they write.
Okay.
Without looking it up, can you guess which of these games are currently among the top 10 releases according to Metacritic critic score, not user score?
Okay.
And I think all of these are from 2025. There might be some from 2024.
Okay.
Most of them are this year.
And they give answers as well?
They do give answers.
Okay.
The first game here is MLB The Show 25. Was that last year?
I don't know.
That was last year, right?
I don't know how they...
Okay, do you think it is among the top 10 releases on Metacritic?
I do. Yeah.
Nope, it is... They give a range. I don't know what that means. It says no, number 16 to 83.
Okay. Sure.
So wait, does that mean it's the 16th best, or is it the 83rd best, or is it all of them?
Or is 83 the Metacritic score and 16 is the ranking?
Oh, that's probably what it is, because they have number on 16 dash and then 83. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, Blueprints.
Oh, the way people have been talking about that fucking thing, that probably is.
I think it's yes. I think I even might have heard that it's like the number one.
People are saying it's the game of the year, like hands down. So
I'm so excited. I've had Code for a while, but this other game I'm playing, I need to finish that because Blueprint seems like you need to give all your attention. You can't just like dip your toe in and out, in and out. You need to. So that's like the next thing I'm gonna play is Blueprints.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. What are you saying?
I'm saying yes, and it's probably like number 3 or something, like rank 3 or something.
So it's a yes. It is number 1.
It is number 1. Okay.
93.
Crazy. Okay.
Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadow. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no.
Oh, all right. Oh no! Wow, that's number 24 at.
Yeah.
Also 83. Okay.
I've seen middling things about it. I think it's okay. So I don't get it, but
yeah, I think it's quite good. Avowed. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna. Holy shit, that's actually really tough. I'm gonna say no.
Wow, I'm bad at this. It is no. It is number 29 at 81.
Oh, it deserves a little higher than that, I think. Maybe.
Okay, this next one, I believe they spelt it wrong, but it's supposed to be The Root Trees Are Dead. I've heard great things about this.
I think yes. Yeah, I've heard good things as well.
I'm gonna say yes as well, but we're okay. We're right. Number 6, 87.
Wow, that's high. Okay.
I've heard really good things, and honestly, the only thing that kept me from it is it didn't have like Steam Deck support.
Okay.
And I was like,
yeah.
Well, I can't really play it on the go, and that's what I wanted. Anyways, 2 Point Museum. I'm going to say no. I haven't heard anyone talking about this.
2 Point Museum. I'm going to say yes, because that seems like one of those ones that like people that are in love it.
Okay. It's no. It's number 11, so close.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Good for them.
Some might say you can't get closer without being in the top 10. Yep.
That's true.
Rift of the Necro Dancer.
No.
Ooh.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no as well. It's no. It's number 42 at 79.
Yeah, that's really low. Jesus. Okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Did this come out?
Yeah, it probably.
I didn't hear about this at all. You're saying yes?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm gonna say no. And I was wrong. It is yes, number 6.
People love that fucking thing.
But The Root Trees Are Dead is number 6.
Oh, that's weird. That doesn't make sense. Are they the same
it's number
score?
7 because it is 1 point lower. I don't know. Or maybe this whole quiz is wrong. Found one error. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's the quiz. Thanks for writing in.
Oh, that's the whole thing? Cool. That's actually kind of fun. That's a fun little quiz. All right. VGC. First, before I continue, Rasterman, yes, I know that the episode titles are there. Not all 3 of us are here, so we'll do it when we're all 3 here, and we ran late. We ran over last time, so we'll get to it next time. Just, we know. I just want to put that out. Cool. VGC Kenny writes, since we're on the precipice of the Switch 2, let's talk a bit about Nintendo's previous sequel consoles. Do you think that the Wii U would have been more successful if they had released Super Mario Galaxy 3 or at least some flagship single-player 3D Mario game? I know it has Super Mario 3D World, but that's not the same as 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, Odyssey, etc. Could that have saved the Wii U? And if it could have, when would we have gotten the Switch?
I don't think so, because I think the Wii U had good games,
It did.
but just nobody was buying it.
Right. Yeah, no.
I don't remember at the time a lot of people like while the Wii U was the main thing. I don't remember hearing a lot of people talking like this thing has nothing. This thing sucks. Like people were enjoying the games. It had good games on there. And I think 3D World was fantastic. Like I had a ton of fun with 3D World.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. No, it wouldn't have changed anything, I don't think.
I don't think much would have changed really, yeah.
Yeah.
Ed writes, there are some games where you may have enjoyed or really enjoyed playing, but you end up spending more time thinking about it afterwards than you initially did playing, and even some where you enjoy this thinking more than you did playing the game initially. That is
That's
a
hard to
very
read.
long sentence. Yep. That needs a bit more punctuation. When mentally categorizing this subset of games compared to every other game you've played, do you lean towards the playing experience or the post-playing experience?
Post-playing. I love talking about and thinking about games afterwards with people more than the actual playing most times.
So I'm kind of looking at this as kind of talking about like the idea of rose-tinted goggles for like nostalgia. And
Okay.
I think everybody tends to look back more fondly the further they are away from something, or if the initial thing was negative, then I believe it gets more negative. Like whatever your kind of initial feeling on it was, I think as you put more time between it, it gets heightened. It goes to more of an extreme. That's how I feel a lot of the time. And
Sure.
because you might come back to stuff and you're like, oh, this is not really how I remembered it. This is actually pretty bad because your brain kind of like, it smooths out the rough stuff. You're not remembering the annoyances unless that was the big thing. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe this game, maybe I'm shitting on this game too much or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do tend to do that quite a bit. I don't know. I obviously like playing games, but I like discussing them after the fact as well.
It's such a weird thing too when like the thing like we do this podcast and like I like to talk to people about games and like all that sort of stuff. So I think thinking about and talking about games for me is like the meta game that I care more about, and the games are like the homework to do the part that I like more necessarily sometimes, even though I have fun doing it.
Yeah, no, and I think I'm similar. Like, we do this long enough that it's like if you're playing a game, there's almost like a part two. It's like the conversation is part of this experience for me.
Like I would love to talk Avowed, but no one's ever gonna finish that game that I know because everyone stops playing it for decent reasons. I will add too.
And we're like that with other media as well.
Yeah.
People like talking about the movies they've seen and stuff like that. And
yep.
So I think there is definitely like a communal aspect to a lot of our media. That yeah, it is almost as important. Like I like listening to like watch along podcasts while I'm watching, shows that I'm into and hearing, okay, what are their thoughts and theories or what parts did I not pick up on? Like that excites me and adds more to the whole experience.
Yeah. It's interesting because I do have some friends that are the opposite. Like I have one friend literally plays every single game like that you could think of. This motherfucker, if a game comes out and I ask him like how was it, he has an answer because he's played it, but like his answer will be good and he won't elaborate. He just likes playing the game and like enjoying it. Then he doesn't want to do the like
good turned on. Loved that part.
It was great. Yeah,
turned off when I needed it to turn off.
Yeah, so it's just kind of interesting. It's like, no, there are people out there that definitely just play the games because they love the escape, they love just doing the puzzles or whatever, and then that's it. It's done for them, which is interesting to me.
Okay,
I can't.
It's fair.
I can't do it.
Games can be lots of things to lots of people.
For sure. I can't do it. Ace Viru. I never did know how to pronounce your name. Says, do you prefer 12-hour or 24-hour settings in your games? Also, do you guys own analog and or digital clocks? This is my clock right here, my phone, basically.
I think all my clocks are digital. I don't think I have any analog clocks.
No.
And because we're in North America, it's pretty much 12-hour clocks everywhere.
Yeah, I do 24 hours for everything because that's how I talk in my job.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know like Europe, everything is 24-hour or 24-hour clocks.
But I switch it. So like when I'm at work or by myself, I think in 24. But if I'm like writing an email to somebody that doesn't, I will use like the 12-hour AM, PM or whatever. But it's quicker to say like 1700 instead of 5 for like people that just need information quickly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 12-hour. That's just across the board. Obviously, I know 24-hour, but I just use 12-hour.
Sure. Yeah.
Jack 0304, if you had unlimited funds, what character would you want to cosplay for a con or other event? Get crazy with it. You have unlimited funds.
One of the Colossi from Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay. And would it be like, how tall are you thinking?
That's the thing is that, do I want to even be able to fit in the door? Does that kind of defeat the purpose? Like, I should be outside the con, walking around, and like people are like scared.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you do have unlimited funds. Limited funds. So I would want something like really elaborate.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Gundam. I guess that's kind of a similar thing with Colossi.
That'd be kind of cool, though. Yeah.
Or like not like obviously not like fully functioning, but like an Iron Man suit that can like open up, like this in the movies and stuff.
That would be.
Like, I don't need
really
it to be
cool.
able to like shoot lasers and fly, but yeah, just like the helmet can flip up. It can like open up to let me go in and out.
Have you seen the cosplays of the guys that like do the helmet part? It's so sick. Like, I don't even know how you build that thing, but damn, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Space Marine from Warhammer, because just like the big hulking armor, be so cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Phantom Aegis writes, Ahoy TDP crew, are there any games where your younger self would hate or dislike it compared to present day you? For the sake of hypothetical, let's use teenage you as the younger self. Example, 13-year-old me would have hated the Norse God of War games.
I don't think so. I don't think there's been like a drastic change or like a genre that I like picked up.
Hate or dislike. I think much younger me would have been bored with games that use stamina like management, so Souls-like games or any of that sort of thing. I was more into hack and slash when I was younger, and I don't like hack and slash now generally. I like the more methodical, slow games.
Okay. Yeah, I think I warmed up on stamina systems, and and it's kind of hard to say because like we didn't really have stamina systems back then.
Yeah. And they were done shittily.
It's hard for me to, it's hard for me to think about like would I have also warmed up to them if we had just kind of like shifted the timeline, or would I have been like, no, not yet. I'm not gonna like this until I'm 25 or whatever it was.
I have kind of an opposite thing. I remember thinking active reload was pretty cool, and now I fucking hate it. Like, I just let me reload my gun. I don't care. Just reload the fucking thing so I can keep shooting.
Oh, okay. I don't have strong feelings about active reload. I wonder if we're going to see more of that new Gears this summer at the Summer Game Fest.
What was it again? E-Day?
Emergency E-Day? Yeah, like a prequel, right?
Yeah. Could be cool.
All right, last one from Joseph. Say you were sent back in time on accident. Say there were a time police.
Okay.
And now you had to hide from them. Let's say you were stuck roughly 14 years, 10 months, and 3 days in the past.
Okay.
When you were accidentally sent back, you had your Switch 3 on you. And your extensive digital library and several controllers. The hypothetical Switch 3 has some good multiplayer games on it. Would you risk contacting your past self, friends, and family to play these really good multiplayer games with them? Paradoxes aren't a concern, but time cops could be.
No, I probably wouldn't, because most of my multiplayer I like playing online with people, so I get like my full thing and they get their full thing.
Right, but you're not going to be able to do that back then, right? Because the servers will not be up.
Exactly.
So your only way to play multiplayer will be like local.
in person, and the time cops might find out.
I mean, it would be kind of exposing yourself. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, it would probably be easier to find like a random person to play with than it would be somebody who knows me, because then I need to explain that I'm from the future.
Yeah. Can
Right?
I just say how hilarious is that the last line is, I can't think of any other reason to contact my past self, but rather than play the Switch 3. It's like, motherfucker, you are never going to be rich with that attitude. You have all the information in the world. I can't think of why I would tell myself anything back in the past. Weird.
Yeah.
That's so
I
funny.
don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know how aggressive the time cops are. They're
Yeah.
probably aggressive. Um, I can't imagine this multiplayer game is so good that I need to play it if it's going to risk alerting the time cops.
Yeah, I agree with you. It can't be. Can't be
So
that
yeah,
good.
I guess I don't. Yeah, but like, how would you go about it? Let's say you are going to contact yourself because you want to play some multiplayer. What do you say to yourself?
Man, I don't know, because I know me and I wouldn't believe it at any point in time. I'd be too skeptical.
But they obviously look extremely close to what you look like.
Like, I'm trying to think, what the hell could, maybe I should think of for myself and not share on a podcast, because that would be against
Right.
everything. A question I could ask my future self now, so
Right.
that if I come back to this point in time, I can find out if
There's
I
like a
am from the
password
future.
almost. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what would be more interesting. So you convince yourself that you're from the future, and
Yeah.
then I think my younger self would have so many questions. They would be like,
Yeah.
"Shut up about your stupid multiplayer game. You need to answer these questions. Stop trying to play Mario Kart 15 with me. There's more
Totally.
impressing things right now." Whereas, future me is like, "I'm not telling you anything. Please pick your racer so we can play Moo Moo's Ranch again."
Yeah. Man, if you played Mario Kart, there'd be characters there that maybe don't even exist yet, right? Because he's saying go back to 2011, 14 years or something.
Well, so that's another kind of question. So it's 14 years from now would be, yeah, 2011. However, we don't have the Switch 3 now. So would it actually be
Oh,
when the Switch 3 is out? So are we kind of coming back to like
to
almost
now.
kind of close to 2025?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Man.
Or,
Well,
let's say so the Switch 1 lasted like 8 years, so let's say the Switch 2 lasts 8 years. You'd be coming back like 6 years ago, kind of, to 2019. And instead of giving any important information, you're
yeah.
like, want to play some Mario Party? This one, there's a camera accessory.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I brought that back too.
Yeah. Don't worry. The next few
And
years
then,
will be fine.
yeah, and then the past self's like, why are you wearing a mask? And you'd be like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. We all
No
wear
one else is going
masks.
to worry about it either.
Yeah. Well, we don't all wear masks, I guess. Um, I'm going to twist this question a little bit. What would, okay, your future self comes to visit you and you confirm, okay, this is my future self. You can only ask them one question. What one question do you ask them?
So this is me right now, and the future self is like at my front door. I'm going to ask them a question.
Like, you're asking your future self from 14 years from now, or whatever it is.
Okay. So they're
question.
like in their 40s. Okay. Um, So 14 years from now in the 40s, what would I ask? Do you have one lined up while I'm thinking?
I mean, the joke answer is, am I going to be okay? Or something like weirdly dark.
Well, they're
but
still alive, right?
yeah. No,
Okay,
I
hang on.
meant
Let me
more
twist
mentally.
it for you. Let me twist it for you.
Yeah.
They show up.
Yeah.
They're wearing an eye patch.
Yeah. I don't want to know. Because
You don't want to know?
because the rest of my life I'll be looking at like pens or whatever they say like forever and just worrying, is this a moment?
I mean, so obviously I've seen this movie, and you trying to avoid it is what's going to cause you to like poke yourself
Exactly.
in the eye.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let it just happen.
And it would never have happened if this person did not show up.
That's right. Yeah. So let fate happen the way it does.
What would I ask? Well, I would probably ask something about like, where do I live? Like, what country do I currently live in?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
like, what is your current job? Because that would say a lot about if I'm like still in the States. Am I still doing this? Did I get deported?
Yeah.
Did the visa work out? Stuff like that. So I would probably ask something around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. I mean, at the same time, I'm also thinking, like, how's a way can I word, like, did the war that I'm worried might happen soon, did it happen? Like,
Have the water wars began?
the water wars, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
so many things you would want to know. That's a good one, though. Like, do I still live?
Or you just ask,
Yeah.
like, what company should I start investing in? Like, who's really big 14 years from now?
That's a
That is
smarter
like
thing to do.
there's like a startup going on like next week, and it's like, oh, invest in them. And
That's
then
definitely the smarter question, for sure. The problem is I don't think my future self would know that.
well, but you would see, like myself, I'm probably not gonna like follow stuff like that. But
Yeah.
if there's a company that just kind of explodes,
Oh, you
then
would
you're like,
know.
oh, too bad I didn't get on the ground floor of that one.
Of, like, Google back in, like, 1990 or something, yeah.
Right, like, you don't have to know how
Yeah.
much Google shares are worth right now. You just know you should have invested in Google. Same with, like, Apple or Nvidia and stuff, like,
Because they
what's the big
control
company
people
you
now.
hear
Yeah.
so, with the trajectory of our life, it's probably gonna be like, "Who's the one megacorp that owns everyone now? I'm gonna invest in them."
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Alright, that's gonna do it for questions this week. Thanks, everyone, for writing in. If you wanna write in for a future episode, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. Paul, what is your game of the week?
It would be South of Midnight.
I can't talk about mine still.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll
Bummer.
talk about it next week.
Yeah, that sucks. Oh well.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. We'll see you then.
Bye.